Welcome to another part of Jack X. This time we are going to be doing the Green Eco Cup with a circuit race and beachfront draw to begin with. Yeah, we're beginning with circuit race. So we have the Street Runner here, which is the Speedster, and the Hammerhead, which is, you know, the tough one, because of all the armor it has. 5 points armor, baby. So, yeah, we're going to be needing them for what they, you know, are for. And the Speedster here, this one, is actually pretty neat in that it looks like a fucking F1 essentially, and it looks cool. And I'm gonna just give it its little upgrades, because, you know, any, like, appearance upgrades that we have, they apply to every vehicle that has them. So any front, sides, backs, the fucking wheels, the hood, everything, they all apply to every car that has those options. And they'll have their own designs too, which is cool. Except for the wheels are always the same. I like that one the most of that car. So, I'm gonna respay this too, because the blue looks actually pretty nice, honestly, but I was thinking, I don't know, make it a bit more darker with the body. You know, make it a bit more like that, and have the stripes, which is the actual color apparently, which is weird. You know, be a bit more of a lighter blue, I guess. And as for Hammerhead here, which is the buff motherfucker, a lot of points, which I'm not gonna upgrade anything on, but I'm not a fan of its color scheme. It's kind of dull. They give you a good color scheme with the first vehicle you get here for Class 2, but this one, the second vehicle, it's kind of boring, kind of fucking faded. It's just not very good to me. See, I'm gonna color this too. Also, the appearance of this thing very obviously makes it like a fucking Juggernaut vehicle. They give it very menacing pieces to like apply onto it. And I'm gonna give it a more lighter color, like so, and I'm gonna give that a more yellowish color, more orangish color. Yeah, I think that'll do. So, yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and use the Street Grinder for racing.
This is what it's all about, folks.
Now, you're probably wondering, now that we're on Class 2, now that we're doing the second cup, the game's gonna get harder, right?
And the block.
Not really, honestly. Quite honestly, the game just kind of gets simple.
No!
I mean, I died, but yeah, it's not really that hard to take care of things here. Also, there is a perfect start thing to this game, by the way, you might have noticed just then, which is if I press the boost button at the very moment the go's about to come up, I get an almost full amount of boosts, which I then use immediately. It's a very useful start to get you in the first immediately. You're gonna kinda need it. Well, not really, but it helps anyway. So, this level is interesting in that you've already kind of seen it in a sense, and all you gotta do is just ride around it and, you know, take care of them with the missiles and such. Nothing too special on this one, honestly. This bit's weird in that it's bumpy and awkward, and yeah, you kind of gotta go over the place a little bit. It's also kind of hard to avoid taking any kind of hits from those moving mines or from fucking fire and shit. So, yeah.
I've never seen anything like this.
The spikes can fuck me too, because it's a very, very effective weapon. But yeah, honestly, it's pretty self-explanatory on how this all works out. It's, you know, very empty still in a lot of ways. A lot of long passages of straights with nothing much going on. They do give you a lot of fucking, like, weapons and boosts, though. So, at the very least, there is some stuff happening because of the AI in yourself, of how much weaponry there's going to be about on the track. But Yeah, for the most part, it is just very boring straight. Then you get over to here, which is obviously the city in a sense, and you get some nice, you know, nice turns here, some nice, you know, bits to look at the city here and all. I mean, you've already kind of seen it. It is basically like a bunch of the tracks are pieces of other tracks just reused and such, and you know, that's kind of a normal racing games. Also, I got fucked. I did hit an oil spill, I will say that much, but at the same time, eh. Also, this is a long fucking track, too, because we're reaching 3 minutes and we're still on lap 1. So yeah, it's one of those tracks where it's so long and it has parts where nothing happens. It becomes this fucking slog to just drive through. It's not a fun track, honestly. It's not a good track to me.
One lap finish.
I mean, there are some good ideas here. Like, there is actually a split path here you can take. Obviously, you'll take the left path more than the right one because it's shorter. But, you know, it's still interesting. And the minimap looks cool, too. It's just... It really is just a boring, long track with not much going on. And I'm gonna get fired by the blue shell now. Okay, so... Yeah, I can't really say much else about this level, this whole map. This track is just kind of... It's neat. It serves a purpose. It's just too long for its own good, and it has not much going on to really, you know, justify its length. So yeah, I have nothing more to say about this one. It's just kind of, it exists, and you might find some fun out of it, but I just find it fucking boring. I thought it's the biggest problem of this game when it comes to its circuit races, in that pretty much half or more than half of every circuit race you do in the main mode, the adventure mode, is boring. And you kind of just want to avoid doing circuits for the entirety of adventure mode. You kind of just don't want to do the fucking circuits. Because all the other modes are so much more fun and more interesting to actually, like, play around with and deal with compared to doing a regular circuit race. Hell, the sprints are more fucking interesting than the circuits because even though they're long too, they're one lap and they're like from beginning to end. They're more interesting because of that. Whereas a long circuit like this that is 2 laps and goes on for like 3 minutes each lap is just a fucking slog. So yeah, I don't like it. I don't like this. It sucks. It's boring. I just want to get through it. But yeah, this is the beginning of the Green Cup. This is, you know, it's an interesting cup in that it has a good amount of variety going on as well, a good amount of good tracks, good races. It just starts off with a rather boring, bad race. This is the thing. A very long one at that. It gives you the thought that it's going to have a bunch of long races, but no. But it does start off with something weird. Because last time we were in the Red Cup, we had to go through a few races before we get our first qualifier. Here's the beachfront. Hang for on the floor as you start across the beachfront. Drop track, never throw your back on the competition, or they'll make sure you wipe out. And
you're facing a Grand Prix qualifier, Jack. In addition to season standings, you must earn a gold medal in each qualifying race in order to be invited to the big Grand Prix events.
Yeah, an immediate qualifier, and it's the artifact one, the unique one. So, that's neat. Anyway, we'll go straight into it and get a cutscene out of this.
Welcome back to the show. Today we have a special event where the racing rules have been changed to provide new challenges and new thrills. How do you see Jack and his band of misfit racers shaping up?
Well, G, I've seen Jack get out of some pretty tight scrapes.
Come on! Do you really think Jack's got a chance? He'll soon be going up against the top pros. Nasty competition. But I'll give you the final word.
Well, GT,
Oops, sorry, that was more than one word. In my experienced opinion, as the competition gets tougher, I think Jack's gonna fold. That's Studio Debating 101, baby. Oh yeah, you just got schooled.
birds do not school. They flock. So flock off!
Okay, so this artifact race is interesting. The winning score is 25, and you have 5 minutes to do this. Now, unless you get very lucky and are very good at what you're doing, and you probably have max stats, you're not going to get 25 in this.
Bye-bye.
This is the first time in the game where they give you, like, they actually give you a fucking big number of shit to get, but not enough time to actually get that number. And the AI won't be able to either. The most I can say is the safe spot is 15. If you can get 15, the AI shouldn't be able to reach you that well. They could probably get to like 13 or 14. If they get 15 though, get 1 or 2 more, and you should be safe by then. Because even though the AI just kind of really grow up on that shit, they will not make it 25 either.
I'm gonna get 'em all.
I have never seen the AI even get close to 25. And quite frankly, I had never gotten to 25 either. So, yeah. This mode is interesting in that it is essentially the first one where you are never actually going to reach the winning score. Because the score is so big that there's not enough time for you to just go and get that shit happening unless you got very fucking lucky on your spawns and they kept spawning it back and forth in like short increments for you, where you can just go back and forth and get them easily, which they usually don't. So, yeah. Artifact race is interesting in that your main goal here really is to get more on your opponents. Getting the winning score is less important than just winning. So yeah, focus your efforts on getting 15 or more, and you should be safe and you should win. That's all I can really say about this one, honestly. It's interesting to me how, you know, they give you such a big number. Now, is it possible to get 25? It is. It does require a lot of luck to get 25, but you don't need to get 25. Getting 25 artifacts is actually 100% optional. It can make it go shorter by a few seconds, because literally you'll be using almost all that time to get 25, but you know, it's not exactly needed. You don't need to actually get 25 to beat this, because the AI will never get close to 20. Your absolute safe zone is 20, by the way. If you get 20, you are 100% never going to lose this one.
Girls rock.
That's just a fucking fact. That's not an opinion. That is not me talking shit. That is a fucking fact of life. that if you get 20 in this one race, you're never gonna lose. The AI will always get it.
Out of my way, Jerry!
So, yeah. That's it, really. That's all I've got to say about this one. It's a neat artifact race. It's a very big area for an artifact race. And, yeah. It's just interesting. It's also very interesting in that it's one of the rare times where you don't need to get the winning score. There is a deathmatch way after this where you don't need to actually get the score to win that one. But outside of... Actually, there's also another one. There's like 2 other moments where you don't have to get the fucking win score to win. But outside of those 2, yeah, you'll need the win score every other time. But yeah, that's it. I get a 15 and I stay in first. So there you go. Alright, so now done the qualifier, we can now move on to some more races.
Show him what he's won, Pecker.
Cruise the waterfront and tear up the Crash City Loop as you speed through this tough race course. Waterfront Loop is now ours. So, let's go forward and do a Crash City race, shall we, at Waterfront, not Crash City.
In this event, you want to collect the power cell, then turbo to charge it up. When the cell is fully charged, you'll get points, and the cell will be fired off at the opponent in front of you. You also get a mine in your red weapon slot to protect you from players coming from behind. The more power cells you collect and charge up, the more points you'll get. You'll get more points in later laps, so go get 'em, big boy.
Yeah, Turbo Dash. What, are you really that expected? Are you really that surprised?
High-speed, high-stakes showdown.
So, what the fuck is this power cell one like? It's fine. I mean, you'll be needing the fucking boost for every power cell one. Like the starter boost. But outside of that, it can get pretty hectic. It's very small. I'll say that much. There's not that much room around for you to really, you know, make a good point on your stuff. It's like very narrow. But if you can get past that, it's also one of the easiest ones to do. Sure, I bailed there. Sure, I fucking murdered a motherfucker by running him into a wall. And sure, not having the greatest starts. The first lap doesn't matter. All that really matters is the second and third lap, which you will 100% do. Because this is where your points really matter. As long as you just keep getting points on the second and third lap, you won't lose this one either. It's that easy. I'm not joking. It's kind of a joke how easy this one is. I mean, yeah, it's like a bunch of bumps, but, you know, the death thing doesn't matter. What matters is that you actually, you know, get the points, which, as you can see, minute left, I already have 20 points. They're still on 10. And we're now heading into the third lap.
Is that all you got?
And now my points are 3. Yeah, this is an easy one. Nothing more, nothing less. It's basic bitch levels, this one. Hell, I kinda start overlapping in a sense.
Get out of the way.
Anyway, yeah. This mode's not that interesting either, in that it's just kind of a boring booster one. I don't have much else to say about it. It's just kinda, it exists, it's neat, the power cells have returned. Doesn't make any sense on that still, but it's a neat mode. It's just not very fun. It's way too easy to be fun. And yeah, you can get 4 laps and get a 4-pointer at the end if you wanted to. But I didn't need it because I already destroyed them fucking 40 points anyway, so 42 points, by the way. And yeah, that's it. Got a part.
Front fender.
And now we get to do another race. Let's go. Crash City Waterfront Loop.
This is a time challenge. I know you can milk a ton of speed out of your ride, so get out there and rock and roll. The faster times will be all that people remember. There are no points for slowpokes.
Another freeze rally. Alright. This freeze rally is interesting. It's not hard, but it does hide a fucking, like, time stopper. And there are some places where you'd think it would hide more, but it doesn't. I get them anyway, but yeah.
This is going to be a great race.
It's not a hard one, though. It's actually one of the easier freeze rallies to do.
Go for it, boys.
Because you see that timer there, 2 minutes, 10 seconds? You won't even really reach 2 minutes unless you really fucked up. They give you some very, very nice times to stop on. A lot of 5s and 10s. And all very close together too, so you'll make it through this before you reach 2 minutes. There are some dick moves though, except for, you know, the whole spawn thing, where like they put sometimes pretty much right by a corner or a wall where you're gonna kinda hit it and you're gonna take some damage. It is a bit of a dick move there, honestly. But if you can work around that, this isn't that hard to deal with. Now, as for the time that it hides, it's around here in the container area, where if you go right here, you can kind of see it over in the distance to your right. It's way out of the way. However, you know there are 2 other gaps beforehand, right? Yeah, they don't hide anything in those gaps, but they hide one there. I kind of forgot where all these times are, and I did what most newbies would do, most people who are new to this game would do, where once they see that 10 timer, they start searching the other areas where they hide shit. It's a main one. And yeah, I missed the time. I tried to go back, but yeah, I'm gonna die. No, I didn't die. I was luckily like, close enough where I'll be fine. But then again, when you start these and you start going back, they give you enough fucking like time, enough like warning before exploding you. Later on, they don't give you a fucking inch. They just explode you outright if you can try. It's fucking mean. It's really fucking mean. Anyway, I don't have much else to say about this one. It's neat. It's pretty, you know, simple, pretty nice. It doesn't have like an asshole to you on this one. It honestly acts fairly, you know, nice to you on this rally. Later on it won't. But yeah, there's like this big, like, open area there that you could go to. No. There's another one around here that you can search through. No. It's just right there. bit mean, honestly. But yeah. And that's really it. There's nothing much else I'm going to say about this one. It's fairly standard, fairly easy, fairly forgiving. It's also fairly long, but outside of that, it's not too bad. Ooh. Yeah, again, the fucking turning in this fucking port. It's anyway, I made it, and I didn't get over 2 minutes, so go me.
You all lose.
And there you go. And that does it for that.
Daddy, I want to race. They need me out there. I can win it all.
Oh no, not this again! Kira, you're not racing. It's much too dangerous.
But Daddy, I can do it. I can race better than any of those guys. You know I can.
Yes, I mean, no, you can't. Well, I mean, yes, you can, but that's not the point. I won't have it. A woman's place is in the garage fixing cars.
You can't protect me forever. Someday I'll show you.
Not today, you won't. No racing. That's final. I can't risk losing my little girl.
I'm not your little girl anymore. You'll see.
Hey, you okay?
Yeah, I'm fine. I'm always fine. Look, you boys have what it takes to win out there.
Thanks, baby.
I meant the car. It's a beaut. Free-floating V-chassis, 326 super headers, channel lock universal weapons cage. Very nice. But to keep competitive, you'll have to modify your ride as often as possible. Maybe if you ask nicely, I'll install stuff.
Deal.
That's asking nice?
What? I mean, it would be...
Nicer?
Will you do it already?
I'm a little rusty with the wrench, but I'll see to it your vehicle's in tip-top shape, make repairs after races, and make sure yours is the best purring vehicle on the circuit. And Jack, we'll talk about nice later.
You get it? You get it? Because she wants the D. Anyway, we're gonna do one more race, and then we're gonna be done for this entire part. So let's go to Crash City again, do the Death Drome.
This is a tough track, Jack. A wise man once said, if one waits to see every target before they fire, then it's already too late. Remember your instincts, Jack, and keep your head about you. Use the eco on the track whenever you can, or you're wasting it. It's there for a reason, and you'll need every bit.
The Death Drome Death Race is very fitting. It's also very fun, because there's a lot of weapons going on. It's very open, very wide. It's a lot of fun to blow fuckers up in the Death Drome. It really is. The really open areas in the racetracks are the most fun to do this kind of event in. So yeah, I really enjoy the Death Race and the Death Drome. It's just really fitting.
Hang on, Daxter.
There is a small number there, to be honest. 120 isn't too big. But remember, this is a big fucking track, so when you get to second lap, you're almost out of time almost. You have about, like, what, 50 seconds, something like that? 30 seconds? So yeah, it's a long track, the Death Drome. It's still fun. It's still immensely fucking fun. So yeah, like, I hate the grenades still. The grenades suck, but you can see just how fun this can be. How just boosting through here really fast, shooting the fuck out of all these guys and using missiles and shit on them, and just getting big kill combos. It's so easy to get massive kill combos because of how wide it is. There's enough opportunity. I'll be thinking, isn't it better if it's like narrow to get the easy kills? Not really, because we turn a lot, and when you turn a lot, you know, The wide open areas help. The wide open areas help to aim. Just get that boost going and you're fucking fine. I will say though that as the turns get, you know, more tighter around this whole little circle here, it does get kind of annoying. But outside of that, it's a fun level to do some fucking killing here. And it's also fairly easy. You'll make it to the gold pretty easily, honestly. If you don't get a gold in Death Time, I don't know how the fuck you managed. I don't know how you managed to not get a gold in this fucking level, but good job, I guess, because you suck, man. You just suck. Seriously, look at that. As soon as you get lap 2, it's done. It's done. You got it. You can get to 250 if you wanted to. It's that simple. It's also that fun. They give you a lot of weapons to play with, honestly. So yeah, it's a lot of fun. And you had 240. There you go, I got 250. See? And there you go. That's gonna do it for this part. So, let's back out. And let's listen to a bit more dialogue about the next race. We'll do the next part, and then we'll end it here. We'll do it in Clifftop. No, we'll do it in Iceland and Frozen Speedway.
Welcome to another race, newbie. This track has had some of the best highlights and mondo crashes my show has ever seen. We all love it. Love it! But you won't. Get out there and make the people happy.
And we will next time. Thanks for watching.